Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you had a great, fantastic work week. For those of you who are not working the weekend, if you're working the weekend, keep it rolling, keep it going hot. I wanted to pop on here today and let you know and talk to you about something that happened. I wanted to share a quick little story with you about a client I had that this happened to. And the headline you're probably thinking I'm off my rocker and a little crazy, and that might be true, but in this situation, not so much. So does it ever make sense to turn down additional business from your largest customer, your largest client? Excuse me. So you're probably wondering, is that a trick question? Well, maybe, right? I wouldn't ask a question probably that's that odd or that much potentially controversial if the answer wasn't a little bit shocking. So these are the types of things we cover. Excuse me. Gosh, I got a frog in my throat. In my Mr. Biz program. So go out to MrBizProgram.com. You can check that out. I can help you run your business more profitably, more efficiently. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. MrBizProgram.com. MrBizProgram.com. Okay, to the story real quick. And matter of fact, I ended up with a client because of this situation, because they made a decision that ended up being a bad decision, got themselves into trouble and called me to help them out of the trouble, which we did. So it all ended well, and everyone's good and all that, but there were some rocky times in there. So this was a business that was doing about $500,000 a year in annual revenue. And they had one customer, their largest customer clearly, that was 80% of that. And I'm rounding numbers a little bit, of course, but they're about 80% of that 500K, which means that one customer was giving them $400,000 of business. Now, on the surface, you say, oh my gosh, like that is awesome, right? It's one customer you have to deal with. You don't have to deal with 20 customers to make up that sort of, 20 customers at $20,000 a year is $400,000, or you have one customer you got to worry about. But here's the problem. So, and you might be saying, well, all you got to do is really focus your efforts on that one customer. You'll never lose them. Like, just go all out on customer service. Make sure you're taking care of them. Make sure you're providing good value to them, and you'll never lose them. Well, that is actually where they got into trouble. Gosh darn it, sorry about that. They got into trouble because their customer, not my client, ended up being my client, but their customer got into some financial trouble. Now, of course, you don't know when that's going to happen to your customers, right? Well, their customer got into some financial trouble and had to make some cuts. So this was something that had nothing to do with my client. They were providing great value, great service, etc. But their customer, their one that was $400,000 a year out of their $500,000 in revenue, got into some financial trouble, made some reductions, were losing sales, etc. So they cut what they were giving my client by 50%. 50%, 50. So think about it. They're doing $400K of business. They cut it by 50%. So my client lost $200,000 of revenue. Now think a little bit further. Their annual revenue, my client, was $500,000. They lost $200,000. So now they're down. They went from a $500,000 company to $300,000 in one fell swoop. So really, really important. You got to watch that kind of stuff. And what it did was it literally reduced their revenue by 40%. So through no fault of their own, right? The customer was the one that had the problem and made the reduction. So they didn't do anything wrong. They did everything exactly what they were supposed to be doing, but they lost, 40% of their revenue just like that. So the lesson here is make sure you're watching your customer concentration. It's very important. Now, I know it seems really counterintuitive to ever be in a situation where you would turn down business from a customer. And certainly you don't want to get yourself in a position where you have to do that, but in some situations you might want to do that. Now, if it's just a job by job type situation, of course you don't turn those down. This was something that's more recurring orders type of situation. And in that situation, you really got to watch. You're really rolling the dice, I should say. So you could not turn that down, but you could get yourself in worse trouble. So think about it, if that would have been even worse and they're, a higher percentage of their income. Let's say they were $1 million company and they were 80%. So that customer would have been $800,000. They cut it in half. They lose $400,000. Now they go from $1 million to $600,000 company. What impact would that have on you? Not only your net income, but on your operations. How many people do you have to let go? What expenses do you have to cut? So you really, really have to concern yourself with your customer concentration. Make sure you're doing things that will help alleviate some of that problem and be proactive about it. Don't wait until it happens and say, oh crap, now what do I do? You got to be thinking about these things strategically. These are the kind of things we talk about in my Mr. Biz program. So again, MrBizProgram.com. Go out and check it out. It's just information on the website. It tells you what it's about. If it's something you're interested in, love to see you in the next session. If not, no worries. Again, love getting the feedback on these videos. Hopefully they're helpful for you. And we'll talk again soon. I'm sure we'll have another video tomorrow. So have a great night, everyone, and a great weekend. And we will talk again soon. MrBizProgram.com. See you.